Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dimitri Cinema. I'm your host, Dimitri. Sorry about the late comeback, but I had a lot going on. I'm in the process of actually moving um back to North Carolina or whatever from Maryland. So had a lot of stuff going on, so I couldn't really make time to do a stream or whatever. But so far the process is going good. So next time you guys hear from me after this, it pretty much will be in North Carolina. I'll be settled in. But anyway, I just want to touch bases on what I took a long time, been wanting to do for a while, but it's been a lot going on, like I said, so I couldn't come in on something that I've been wanting to do, which was Superman and Fantastic Four. I've seen both movies, and it's just I hadn't had it. Like I said, I had a lot going on. I hadn't had a chance to come in and do anything, as far as that regard, whatever. But I'm here now, and let me get started with it. First, you know, I just want to say James Gunn and David Cornsweet as Superman was just wasn't my cup of tea. The cinematography of the movie, I wasn't, I wasn't feeling, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that it looked like Finding Nemo with real people in there, or maybe the cinematography of a Ghostbuster movie, maybe the Ghostbuster with all the one they did with all the girls in there when they try to remake it, then end up doing Afterlife and all make it more serious with it. But the cinematography, the CGI they do for the ghosts and stuff, that's how I felt like this was. Some scenes were cool when Superman is flying a little bit and you see him kind of the front of him and turning around and just. But to me, the movie was just was too much crammed in going with it, and there was a lot you tried to put in the story, and I'm understanding what um production companies are doing now and writers are doing now when they make a I'm sorry, Batman, Superman, whatever. Wonder Woman, they know everybody knows the story now, and they don't want to go into the movie introducing the character's storyline, background story, because they know everybody knows Bruce Wayne's story. Everybody knows Clark Kent, Superman's story from the Krypton spaceship on Earth. Bruce Wayne, his parents was killed. Ra's al Ghul in the training, League of Shadows. He becomes Batman through that vengeance. They know everybody knows that. So, like the last Batman movie, The Batman, was um they what they did with the whole thing, they jumped into it. And this is like Batman Year One. So it's like everybody knows the story. We're not doing it. We're not gonna come off with that no more, make the movie more out of the realm of what we're trying to do because we want to put, more what's going on at him as Batman. Same way with Superman. You know what I mean? Like if you add the backstory to it, you won't never get a full aspect of the year one of the heroes. So if you're gonna give Superman's backstory, Batman's backstory, his parent, him as a little kid, you're gonna have to do a 15 to 20-minute scene of the opening movie of him as a little kid going all the way until he becomes Batman. So I guess they look at it as, it's just too much of the storyline for the movie, So we're going to leave that part out because everybody knows that. While we keep going to that when we make, a film about these characters. So Superman's kind of the same way. So they kind of jump into it. Superman Year One, Superman, he's already established as Superman, Everybody knows his story. Clark Kent. Uh, he was raised by two parents. He, came from Krypton on a spaceship to Earth. So they kind of they know everybody knows that. So they jump into it, and you get all this the him as Superman and dealing with the whole thing with the outside world trying to accept him again, and he has a intense scene with Lois about when she's asking him questions, and I think they tried to bring more of an angry, not an angry Superman, but more of a intense, his feelings expressed Superman. Like, why do you guys do this to me? I'm like aggression, more of like, I'm good. I'm legit. I'm here for the people. I'm here for justice. Why do where towards the Christopher Reeve, he dealt with it and he was kind of like, oh, he's really nice, really, really the nice Superman. Then, you know, uh, Henry Cavill was more of a like trying to understand what was going on, getting his point out, and just taking what they was giving, put hitting him with, you know, taking all the licks and the smacks. But this guy is like David Coruscant is like his Superman is more like, hey, listen, I'm Superman, damn it. Like, what? Hey, what? I'm. What are you talking about? You could see the intense where they had to get to him. James Gunn to probably let him know, hey, I want, I want the feelings, I want the emotions, I want you to come. I want this Superman, this Clark Kent to just like let it loose. You know what I mean? Like, it was almost analyze this, but Robert De Niro being like really, 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 really serious instead of jokeful, funny. You know, uh, it was, you could tell it was dark. They wanted this to be a little bit more darker. Lex Luthor's character, this Lex Luthor, is darker. You know what I mean? The scene where he like shoots the dude just to you know over Superman's his whole obsession with Superman. Like you can see where it was getting out. It was getting crazy, and it was like, okay, yeah, they want this as a little bit more darker Superman, but more emotional expression Superman. So, but I think for the most part, they crammed a lot in it. Their version of the Justice League. Here comes, the first, or one of the first Green Lanterns, Hawk Girl, Mister Terrific wasn't bad. It was wasn't a bad idea, but it's like I'm going to give you my version of the Justice League. No Wonder Woman, no Batman yet. From what I understand and what I hear, he's going to, you know, sling in Batman at some point, and he's looking at. This is not official, but I heard he's looking at Alan Richardson to be his Batman at some point. That's who he has in mind, and if that's so, so be it. Whatever, he's going to do what he's going to do. My thing with Alan Richardson, I wanted him to be He Man. I felt like he would have been an excellent He Man. You know what I mean? But whatever. He's looked at as Batman. But when you see this movie and you see the storyline and you see everything that's going on, and you're like, why did they touch another Superman? Why didn't just let it be, leave it with Henry Cavill? Just let that keep going. What did he see in the Man of Steel in Justice League that he felt like, hey, I want to bring a new Superman to the plate? Why didn't he just do something else? And it's just like you look at it and you're just like, you just messed up something that don't fix something if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It wasn't broke, and he's trying to fix it, and he's breaking it. That's what I got out of this. I've had people call me up and talk to me about this film, and I didn't. I totally agree with him. I've had an old friend call me and told me his version. Like, he watched it, he couldn't even stay awake on it. Like it, that's how crazy it was. He didn't. He didn't, it was just like, man, I tried, but I just couldn't get into it. It just looked phony. It just looked cheesy. The graphics didn't look that good, whatever. Especially the thing where he's fighting. Superman's got to fight the dragon thing, whatever, and it's like with a little thing that grows, and he's fighting that. Then he needs help. That's another thing. You could tell that Superman actually struggled. Superman don't struggle like that. Not against, well, he might, because Lex Luthor is very clever, very smart. So he times to times struggle against Lex Luthor tactics. Sorry, his gaming plan. Lex, you have to be ahead of him, not behind him, and he struggled, which is okay to struggle, but the way he struggled, because Lex Luthor didn't come at him full charge like he could, and like he did in the comic books, like he did in the past movies. Like he's not even coming at you with all everything he could come at you with. It's just like this beginning of him, and you're struggling with that, and it wasn't good. He needed the Justice Gang or whatever they called them in that movie, Mister Terrific, and you need help from Green Lantern and Hawk Girl. Like I don't know, man. It was just a lot that made me turn sideways towards the movie. The Lois, she did her character was decent. She did a good. I think she did pretty good. The actress that played her, and I don't know, man. It was just Clipto was sort of cool to put in there, but it was like, I don't know if it's going to help the way y'all going about directing this movie. Maybe for another movie, Superman movie, he could have been okay in. Not this movie. Maybe he'd have been okay in Superman Returns, uh, the one that when he came back and had a kid about Lois or whatever after the original Superman's. Maybe that one or something. I don't know. It's just I don't know. I wasn't feeling this. I don't think he even reminds me of Superman, even with the suit on. He's just like he's not that stature. He's not that like Henry Cavill. You see him, you like, oh, that's Superman. Christopher Reeve, you see him, that's Superman. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't there. It was like Rick Moranis playing with a Superman suit on. It just wasn't there. He he tried to get deep in his act and maybe add a teeny bit of sense of humor there, but it wasn't. It just wasn't. James Gunn shouldn't have touched this one. I don't think he should have. You guys, let me know what you think about that. But there was a lot, you know, um, a lot going on in there. They had, I didn't see no, I didn't really see no, I didn't see no, what's his name? No signs of Darkseid coming in the future. So I guess they got more movies planned for that or whatever. And I just wasn't feeling this one, man. That's my thing on it. Even though the opener of it and they tried to get intense with it, it just wasn't. I just wasn't feeling this one at all. Think it was that. I didn't think it was that great. Um, I don't know if they setting it up for what villains they're gonna be setting it up for. Uh, I just, I don't know, man. I wasn't feeling this one. So that's my whole take on that. I'm make it real short, but you guys let me know what you felt about the Superman. I watched it 3 times and it just wasn't. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. Um, Fantastic Four. I liked it. I think they did really good. I think it was brilliant. And I'm realizing there ain't too much you can really do with a Fantastic Four movie. That's why they were made so many times. Directors are trying to find a good feel for a good Fantastic Four movie because Fantastic Four is one of the world's famous heroes, a family. oriented, almost like the Bionic Six, that cartoon back in the day. Family that fights for justice together. They were like, bionic made people. And Fantastic Four, got their powers going into space. Uh, Radiation, they hit, and it was history from there. This one they tried to bring, which was pretty good. Their kid actually, because in the comic books, their kid is like, excuse me, becomes one of the most powerful beings on the face of the planet in Marvel. Uh, that's why everybody's so addicted to trying to get him. They brought Kirby and Kirby back. That was from the old cartoon and the comic books too. They just left them out when they tried to go modern, but it was pretty cool. This movie reminds you of a really good Fantastic Four movie, but almost like the Jetsons. Remember the TV show Meet George Jetson? The Jetsons, like a Jetsons, but Marvel-ish Jetson, and with a good storyline behind it. But one of the things that I like the most about this movie was they brought Galactus. He is one of my favorite villains in Marvel. Galactus and Apocalypse. Now they did something that they always seems to do. What the most powerful villains when they bring them to Marvel cinema is they make them take a back step than what they were in the comic books. They make them less powerful. Almost they look like they're less powerful than they were in the comics. Galactus is one of the most powerful. Fantastic Four couldn't take him down in the comic books alone. Yeah, it took Silver Surfer to help them maneuver. They still couldn't take him down. They couldn't destroy him. They couldn't stand him back. They couldn't do anything. He had to switch, hit a switch to go the other way when he was like, okay, it's just whatever. You guys are fighting for your whatever. But he's one of the most powerful villains. And he's not really a villain. He's supposed to be like a guy that just eats planets that's like he has a reason for doing his things or whatever, but it just he's too powerful, man. He could tap of a finger, destroy the earth. And he's the one of the biggest growing powerful beings in the universe. So the earth is like an eyeball size to him. He can shrink himself down, he can shrink himself up. But when he shrinks himself up, he's one of the biggest giants ever. Apocalypse could do the same thing, but not as big as Galactus. Galactus is like his body is over the whole universe. That's how big he is. So it was cool having them walk through the city or whatever. I guess you want people to be able to see him. You don't want to make him that big where he just. You want to make it kind of like doable in a movie. You know, Thing. I like his situation. I like the way they did Thing. He didn't try to overdo as the Thing. Johnny Storm was really good. He didn't go too crazy with it. And the movie was brilliant because he was able to figure stuff out without Reed Richards. The whole thing with the language and all of that. They made it more common sense. Like, okay, mutants or not mutants, humans that are powerful, they get powers, can actually use their head and figure things out than just somebody being overly smart, genius like Reed Richards or Doom or who, whatever, Lex Luthor or that kind of type of brains. You can actually figure stuff out. Superman figures stuff out. Sometimes he outsmarted Lex Luthor. You even seen it in old movies when Gene Hackman like Superman. One thing I'll say, you've always been the only one that could hang there with me. Like he was impressed. You know what I mean? Batman. He's not like Tony Stark genius, but he's smart, and he's always 5 steps ahead of his opponent. So you got people that are basic thinkers that should be able to think their way through and figure things out. Now, like they did that with Johnny Storm, and Sue was more the mother like. She's a mother. They showing it. Hey, she's a mother. She's gonna be a mother in this movie, but she's still Invisible Woman. But she's a mother. Her character is based motherly, like mother stature. Reed is Reed, smart, brilliant, one of the most smartest people in Marvel. Uh, he figured it out, but they came together as a strong family, and that's what made the movie so good. It was like this is a, it's a pretty damn good movie. Like I like this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like it brought that feel to it, that magic to it. And like I said, putting Galactus now, the only thing that threw me off, and it still throws me off, and I have nothing against, when they change white characters to a black actor to play them, or now they're starting to do black characters. They'll get a white person to play them. Okay, whatever. But when you go from male to female, then you got me. I'm like, wait a minute, no, Silver Surfer's a guy. Now that's gonna be a little bit weird, kind of for comic book fans and people that Fantastic Four fans. It's gonna be like, but it's cool to sort of cool to see woman do that thing, but it's like don't change that far as from man to woman. You could change black to white, white to black. Don't change don't change woman to man because that character he was a guy and he was working for Galactus. Galactus gave him the power because he was eating up all these planets and he took a sacrifice. Hey, you don't eat my planet up, let my people survive. I will be your do guy, whatever, for the rest of my life. Galactus, okay, turn him Silver Surfer, but it's like the woman doing it is like, wait a minute, what's going on? Like it kind of throws you off a little bit as a fan of comics when they do that. Now they're gonna start doing that. So you're gonna take Captain America and make him into a woman as him in the next couple of years when you redo the movie again, because Marvel Hollywood tends to think we all forget about the 8 movies that were already made on that franchise. So pretty sure a couple of years down the line, they're gonna have switching from men to women, which, like I said, love women characters, but let them be women characters that were already made as women. Invisible Woman, Wonder Woman. Keep that. Don't switch from men or do something like they won't just do it with women. They'll do it probably with men too. Instead of Invisible Woman, beat the Invisible Guy in the next 8 Fantastic Four movies. Like, don't do that. Woman's woman, man's man. A woman superhero, leave a woman superhero. Man superhero, leave a man superhero. Woman character, mutant, whatever you are in Marvel, DC, leave it as woman. Man, leave it as man. Don't do that. It's not like switching from a black man playing a white character in the movie or a white character playing a black character in the movie. That's different. They're still a male and female, but you don't want to switch the species because they already wrote in the comic book. They already got you know, their mark. You don't do that. So that was the only thing I had with this movie, but it was a great movie. Other than that, and the girl did good as Silver Surfer. I'm not saying she did bad. Uh, um, you know, for the most part, you didn't really pay attention while you watching the movie. It was just like, okay, it was part of it. It's like because the movie's so good, it kind of took your focus off of it a little bit. But you're a deep time Marvel fan on a lot of these characters and superheroes. It'll sort of you start to be looking at it a little bit. It'll bother you a little bit, not bother you, but kind of like have you like scratching your head, like why did they put Silver Surfer as a girl? So that's my thing with it. But I liked it. I liked how they did Galactus, and I swear it sounded like the guy that did the voice of Candyman. That's did the voice of Galactus, which I thought was pretty cool too. If it wasn't him, I like that they did him. That they did it. They got the guy that was Candyman to do that voice. Because before it was, I think, I can't remember who it was before. No, he never had a voice before. It was Silver Surfer before Lawrence Fishburne's voice. So, but I think it's pretty good. They got credits at the end. You guys watch it and see that. Um, I think you guys should go see this movie. If you ain't seen it yet, it's been out for a while. I think it's going to be streaming on Hulu and then go to Amazon next. I'm not sure. HBO Max. I'm not sure how they're going to do it. But Superman's on HBO Max now. But like I said, I wanted to, do this stream when it came out, but I had a lot going on when it happened. I didn't know it was going to happen, so I couldn't do it when that's why I'm so late. So, um, and I'm not going to tell the next project I do will just be spontaneous the next time you guys hear from me, but I'll be settled in. I'm pretty sure I'll be in North Carolina then, and you know, be set up then, and I'll do streams then. But you guys tell me what you think and subscribe, and you know, you guys let me know. If you ain't seen it yet, go see Fantastic Four. Go see, and see or see Fantastic Four and Superman's on TV. So you guys Amazon yourself up and check out Superman. But other than that, I'm glad to be back. Um, it may be some time before you guys hear from me again, but it ain't gonna be as long as this time. So apologize about that, and I hope everybody have a wonderful day. All right, thanks.